trust issues. Oh, trust issues.
What's going on, guys? Devan Caswell here. Today we're talking about trusting God. Now, the more years you add to your life, the more you realize how hard those two words are. See, I feel like some of you watching this video, you trust God, but you don't trust God in every aspect of your life. You might trust God with your finances, but you might not trust Him with your marriage. You might trust Him with your kids, but you might not trust Him with your ministry. You might trust God with your church, but you don't trust Him with your job. See, we need to learn to trust God in every area of our life. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding." I have an analogy for you guys real quick. A table is able to stand by itself pretty well, but as soon as you add weight or pressure to a table, if you add enough of it, the table is eventually going to topple over. It's going to give way. So the reason that we can't lean on our own understanding is because our own understanding can't support the weight of God's plan and purpose for our life. See, the reason it's called God's plan and purpose for her life and not Stacy's plan and purpose for her life is because God needs to be involved in order to fulfill it. So we can either choose to lean on God and put our trust in Him, or to lean on our own understanding, which can't support the weight of God's plan and purpose for our life. I have a story I want to share with you guys, and it's about a guy named Daniel. And Daniel was a very faithful man to God. He prayed to God all the time, and he was under the authority of King Darius. King Darius created a decree saying, you can no longer pray to God, but you need to pray to me. Daniel wasn't about it. Daniel refused to abide by this law. He continued praying to God anyway, and this got him tossed into a lion's den. The first thing Daniel did when he was tossed in the lion's den is he started praying to God. And God had protected Daniel in the lion's den, and Daniel walked out that lion's den the next morning without a scratch. The king was in awe. And because the king had seen how the Lord protected Daniel in the lion's den, he created a new decree saying, no longer pray to me, but pray to Daniel's God. See, I want you guys to put yourself in Daniel's shoes for a moment. Imagine being tossed into a lion's den. What's the first thing you would do? You would start trying to find something to defend yourself. Maybe you'd start trying to climb some walls. I don't know, maybe you'd start trying to sweet talk the lions. You'd start trying to find a way to survive this thing. Well, that's not what Daniel did. The first thing Daniel did is he started praying because he knew that he could trust God to protect him. And how do you think that trust was established? Well, according to scripture, Daniel was approximately 85 to 90 years old around this time. And that's old enough to look back on your life and to see all the moments where God has come through for you. To see how God's hand has been involved in the process of everything in your life. See, Daniel knew when he was tossed in the lion's den that this was just a part of the process for something greater. How many of you need to learn to trust God in the process? See, sometimes when we're going through the process of things, it doesn't seem to make sense. We don't understand why we're going through certain stuff. And it seems a little confusing. It seems to lack clarity when we're going through the process. But I'm here to tell you, as long as you're seeking God, God is involved in the process. And you need to trust that He is currently involved in the process that you are going through. It might not make sense right now, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you'll look back at this moment and you'll see how God was involved. You might not see it right now, but you will. So trust that God is active and currently moving and involved in the process you're going through right now. If you do that, you'll definitely be one step closer to fulfilling God's plan and purpose for your life. If you guys got any comments, any suggestions, any questions, or any prayer requests, go ahead and comment them below. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you guys soon. Please subscribe.